Hi, hello, wonderful, amazing people. Welcome to yet another episode on Talk with Amma. You've come under the weather, you're feeling a little sick, and the first thought that comes to your mind is, let me go grab some antibiotics. This video is for you. Because in this video, we are going to look at myths regarding antibiotics. Yes, we are going to separate facts from fiction. So if you're new here, subscribe to my channel, like this video, don't go anywhere, stay tuned. Number one, regardless of what ails me, it doesn't hurt giving antibiotics a try. First of all, let us establish the fact that antibiotics work on bacterial infections, okay? And even with the bacterial infections, we have different kinds. Some are aerobic, some are anaerobic, various different kinds located all over the body. So you can't just be going around taking antibiotics if, first of all, your infection is not a bacterial kind of infection. Secondly, most medications have their side effects. Some people can't react to medications. Okay, you could be allergic to a particular type of medication based on the formulation. I would advise that you just don't go to the pharmacy requesting for antibiotics. Number two, once I start feeling better, it's okay to stop taking my antibiotics. After all, I'm feeling fine, so what's the point of taking these medications that it's not too comfortable taking anyways? A whole lot of research have been done concerning a particular type of infection. Okay, so we know the duration at which you're supposed to take these antibiotics, we know the cause. So when I say cause, it's just the number of days or duration at which you're supposed to take these antibiotics. Or for some antibiotics, you have to do 8 hourly, some you may have to do 12 hourly, some you may have to do every 6 hours, and for a particular number of days. Okay, really not advisable to start antibiotics and stop halfway when you're feeling better, because you just weaken the bacteria and they are not fully destroyed. And the worst part is, once they come back strong again, they mutate because they are living organisms and they form a resistance. So if you're not lucky, you may take the same antibiotics again and it may not work for you. Not that the antibiotic is fake or it doesn't work, but you're having resistance strains of bacteria.
So who caused it? You did.
Myth number three, it is okay to use someone else's medications, especially antibiotics, if they have them. Now, everything about this is wrong. People are not even supposed to have antibiotics lying down at home as first aid. You can't assume that what you are suffering from is what someone else is also suffering from. Because of the course everyone is supposed to take, when you go to the pharmacy, it's very likely that they'll give you the number of antibiotics based on that particular course. They won't go more than that, okay? So either the person completes the duration or you're also not going to complete because you don't get a full course. So please, if you're feeling under the weather and you're not too sure, go to the pharmacy, describe your symptoms to the pharmacist, and if they know from fact that you may need an antibiotic, they'll give you one. But the best thing for everyone to do is to do a lab test first to establish the fact that there is an infection. Myth number four, if I'm careless with antibiotics, I don't harm anyone. It's just me. So just deal with yourself, mind your own business. Yeah, this is a myth. Now, if you start developing resistance strains of bacteria and it becomes very difficult for a particular type of antibiotic to fight against these infections, it worries everyone around you because resistance strains spread easily. Okay, so sometimes you may not be taking antibiotics wrongly, but because majority of the people in your community are misusing antibiotics, it affects everyone. And because there are not enough antibiotics approved by FDA, it would be very selfish and unwise to misuse antibiotics because we need a very few ones left to remain effective. And you wouldn't want to be spending huge amounts of money treating a bacteria kind of infection that could be easily solved with, not too expensive antibiotics. So please, let's use antibiotics appropriately. Now, the fifth one is, as human beings, once in a while we need to be taking antibiotics to clear off germs and infections that we are exposed to. Now, this is a very interesting one. I had someone walk into the pharmacy requesting for antibiotics, and he said, "Oh, why am I asking him plenty questions?" Because he heard on radio that as a man, once in a while, you have to be taking antibiotics because this world is polluted and we are exposed to all kinds of infections. I asked him if he had some symptoms of infections, and he said he's perfectly well. He's just taking antibiotics so that he doesn't get exposed to infections. Now, this was pretty interesting because this man said he heard on radio. So I was even questioning, like, who said it on radio? Was it a doctor? Was it a pharmacist? Who was that? He said, oh, he doesn't even remember. Okay, that's fine. So we had a very long, interesting chat, and it is actually one of the reasons why I decided to make this video. Yeah, God created you well. Okay. This body that you have, it has its own immunity. We have the innate immunity. It's not every kind of infection or ailments that when it comes to you need to take oral medications for it. Okay. The body itself can fight those kind of infections. Now, what you do to yourself to harm it is that when you start taking these antibiotics, anytime you see a small then it means anytime you feel that small ache, the body doesn't have memory cells to remember and fight that particular type of disease because you didn't give the body a chance to learn and fight it on its own. So you become very weak, and with any small thing passing in the wind, you catch it because your body is weak. It's like going to school and being spoon fed all the time. You don't develop your brain, you don't remember anything, so you don't learn on your own. That is exactly how the body is. The body can fight on its own. It is only with some particular type of infection that you may need some support with some medications. Okay, this is why we even encourage vaccination because you're kind of introducing a weaker form of the infection so that the body would be able to fight it and keep memory cells. Okay, well, please, gentlemen, wherever you hear that from, I would advise that you check the source again and be sure that you don't just take anything that you hear online or on radio or on the news. Just make sure that any information that you are getting, you do a quick check. Be sure not to be sharing false information because you are also you are part of the problem, my friend. Yeah, thank you. So there are several myths regarding antibiotics, and I just mentioned some few myths. So please help us. Let us also help you, and let us help ourselves because we all want to live longer. No one wants to die early.
Don't walk to the pharmacy and request for amoxicillin or Flagyl, or you'll be mentioning names, and when we ask you why you are taking these medications, you'll be angry with us.
Please, there are reasons why we ask you certain questions. So please, let's help ourselves and we would all have a longer life, a healthier life, a stronger body and mind because our body would be able to also learn and fight infections on its own. And also remember that a healthy mind and body is a wealthy life. Do have a lovely day. Bye bye.